I think it's very promising that All-Nighter views them as revolutionary technology and were initial investors in ALF to begin with. Hey guys, welcome to DreamCoin, where we share how to invest for a better tomorrow. My name's Tyler, and today we're going to be going over the over 100% run that Alfi Stock had today, why it ran, and where I see them going into the future based on recent events. So the big news kind of escalating Alfi today is that they made a deal with a distributor to get 10,000 digital tablets to both Uber and Lyft drivers to allow for Uber and Lyft to advertise inside of those cars, which would not only increase brand recognition for both of them, but also incentivize drivers to advertise in their cars in order to make some extra income while working for those companies. The distribution center that Alfi is partnering with is going to be All-Nighter, and this is going to possibly set them up to get a next batch of up to 50,000 digital tablets, which is expected for them to fulfill for Uber and Lyft over the coming year. Something significant to note is that All-Nighter owners were Alfi IPO investors, which sets up a deeper connection than it looks at with face value if you don't go into much discovery for them. And the project manager for Alfi states that they're trying to get into every major city in the US. So this is a very early setup for them for where they're looking to broad base their contributions to the economy and get involved with a lot of bigger companies potentially as we look forward into the future. If you're newer to Alfi, a lot of what they work with is going to be smart technology. So any type of artificial intelligence and deep learning models that can kind of look at consumer behavior and modify things to fit consumers and brands based on location, how people are interacting with their products, and different things like that. Alongside advertisements and things dealing with that, they also are looking to provide services for businesses that deal in looking at metric algorithms and seeing how people react to different things that they put out, whether that be social media or other types of just connections that they try to make with consumers. And then they can also streamline content in real time, hypothetically, with the Alfi software and technology that they have developed. So say you're a team for a company looking into branding in a lobby for a big business suite or something along those lines, you can change things on your computer to where if you have a specific demographic, say like children versus adults, you can modify advertisements for your business based around who is actually in the area at a specific time. And what's more incentivizing for Alfi investors is that they're specifically targeting a lot of different types of businesses like car dealerships and cannabis dispensaries, airports, hotels, restaurants, museums, basically anything having to do with like travel or luxury items or different things where people are going to be at a location for a specific amount of time that can help direct attention to certain things going on in a business. Another kind of advantage I see right now from where Alfi is trading is that it seems like it's still pretty early for where the stock price action could be looking towards the future. When they wanted to list their IPO, they were looking for about $4.15 for each of their shares, and when they actually went public in the beginning of May, they debuted about $2.60 each share. This was obviously a decent undercut of almost half from where they had their IPO listing start at, but they've been continually growing upwards as time has gone on. And then obviously today they exploded from over $3 to over $7.50 in after hours trading. As we look at the chart for Alfi, which trades under the ticker ALF, they started here back beginning of May, like I said, and they opened kind of at 348 and then ended up closing down at the $2.50 area. And since then they've risen a decent amount and done cycles where they've consolidated, declined, went up in some spikes, and then have been sitting around $3 or so for quite some time up until today. And then they spiked from about $3.50 up to about $6.50 as the news dropped today of their distribution of the tablets for Uber and Lyft. What I'm going to be looking for with ALF as somebody who is interested in possibly buying this is for them to possibly have a pullback over the next few days. This ran a significant amount, and considering where they've been trading, there's not really a 50 to 200 day moving average to move off of since they're pretty young, we can kind of hypothesize that they might settle back down around $5 or less at some point over the next couple weeks. And so I'm going to be looking for some pullback to buy in as a potential spot to invest for long term. And then this would be one that I think you should look at holding for a significant amount of time in your portfolio. The reason being for this is that they're looking to do more niche kind of algorithmic type of software and technology that a lot of companies aren't really focusing on. A lot of companies will try to like spread themselves thin with cloud-based services and AI and everything along those lines. Whereas Alfi specifically not only looking to do the technology, but implement it in physical forms to promote to businesses to use in their different types of plans for how they want to promote their services and have customers interact with their different services. What I'm going to be looking for after some pullback from the stock is a possible bounce to over $10 within the next couple months, which would be a shorter term target for me. I think it's very promising that All-Nighter views them as revolutionary technology and were initial investors in ALF to begin with. And this looks very nice for future potential between the partnership that they're coming to for distribution, and especially if they can expand more into across the country outside of just Uber and Lyft, but into bigger companies and different types of services outside of rideshare. This is going to look very nice for them in the future. Even at the price level that they traded at today, they've been trading under a market cap of less than $100 million. I'm going to be looking for them to possibly break over $50 within the next year and a half or so, with the potential for a lot of big companies hopping into partnerships with them. This would put them at a market cap of roughly about 600 million, which I don't think is unreasonable for where they're standing now. And it would be about 7 times higher than current levels from where they closed at. I think they've got a lot of big things going forward for them, considering they're so early in their public trading and they are just now getting their distribution deals in. As time goes on, obviously it'll be something to watch, but I do think they have a lot of potential going into the future. As an investor and somebody trying to educate people on where to place their assets and looking at how to research companies, I find it very important to look at long-term plans for companies, because short-term there's a lot more volatility and a lot more risk involved. That's why I like looking at long-term companies for stuff like Alfi, and what I show you guys is stuff that I believe could take off long-term. But even things like cloud-based services and algorithmic AI and different things dealing with those are going to be very volatile right now as we come out of COVID and everything. So this could give you a good opportunity to invest for long-term in these different types of stocks. Hope the content has been helping you guys over the last few months since we started the channel, and I'll be looking to do more for you guys in the future with a lot of the stuff I've got planned in the pipeline, including an ebook and possibly a website with deeper research, in-depth articles for the stocks and crypto that I go over. Other than that, that's going to do it for me in this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.